So ladies and gentlemen, I think it's fair to say, well, at this point, we are living in a time of delusion. There's no other way to put it, right? You know, when you start to speak about the woke issues going on within society, for example, one of the delusional responses you get from the woke leftist liberals, who, by the way, like to push everything onto us, is, well, it's not happening, stop making it up, it's not that important, it's not a big deal, you're exaggerating, the list goes on and on and on. But you get that response, especially when you talk about the issue we all know about within women's sports, where we see men identifying as women going in, taking places, awards, opportunities away. Yes, it is happening. I know somebody's probably come across this video and going, oh, it's not happening, stop making it. Get a grip. We know it is. And it's happening at such a frequent rate. It's actually insane. You cannot keep up with the stories today. Every single week, there is a new one. And we have this report now that we're going to be talking about in this video that just shows you how big this problem is and how badly women are being affected by this whole thing in their own sports. And after we've checked out that report, we're going to be taking a look at an article that just shows you some stories, and we know most of them, but it just again reminds everybody how ridiculous all of this is. Now, before we get into it, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating, as it really helps out the video. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, comment on this video, share this video, follow my socials down below in the description. Now, all of that's out of the way, let's just get into it. You are not gonna believe this. So as you can all see with the headline on your screen, and it is absolutely insane, I can't believe I'm gonna read this out. UN official calls for female-only sports categories after women athletes lose 890 medals to trans opponents. A new study revealed that trans-identified biological men competing in women's sports shouldn't be happening has resulted in the loss of 890 medals by over 600 female athletes across 29 different sports, although experts said the numbers are likely much higher. So all these people that go on shows and they post things on social media saying, oh, it's not even happening that much, it's rarely happening. Really? Over 890 medals, most likely. 600 female athletes have been affected by this across 29 different sports. Yeah, it's not happening. We're all just making it up. It's an exaggeration. The shocking data comes from a recent report published by Reem Asselem, the UN Special Rapporteur on Violence Against Women and Girls, who issued an official recommendation of banning men from competing in women's sports. You can't say that, man. That is so offensive. You'll get cancelled for that one.
How dare you?
The report was presented to the UN General Assembly on October 8th, which included a plethora of written and in-person evidence. She advised that there needs to be a protected female-only category to ensure the safety of female athletes and fairness at all levels, as reported by Sex Matters. Well, as we know, these woke activists do not care about female safety in sport or fairness. All they care about are these woke agendas. And funnily enough, a lot of these people that care about it so much and want to push it onto everybody are women. Tell me how that makes sense. Al-Salem called on the Assembly to ensure that female categories in organised sport are exclusively accessible to persons whose biological sex is female. She said that the new sporting categories need to be created for athletes who want to compete opposite their birth sex, or have the men's category be made available to all competitors. Additionally, the report revealed that men competing in women's sports pose a serious safety threat to female athletes, increasing violence at all levels. Female athletes are also more vulnerable to sustaining serious physical injuries when female-only sports spaces are open to males, the report stated. Well, we all know this. This is common sense. But they cited a study that found the least powerful man produce more power than the most powerful women while playing the game of volleyball. Female athletes have sustained serious injuries such as knocked out teeth, concussions, broken legs, and skull fractures from their transgender opponents, as per the report. Yeah, so all these woke liberal feminists and men who talk about women's rights and women's safety every single day, what about that? Because what we can see here is men seriously injuring women in their sports. But they don't want to talk about that. Yeah, they're very good at acting like Stevie Wonder when it comes to that one, right? Wait, whoa, we can't see what's going on over there. Left is right, up is down. Common sense is hard to find. It's going to be on a t-shirt soon, trust me. The UN official also advised against allowing men in women's restrooms or changing rooms, saying that removing single-sex spaces in sports may also increase the risk of sexual harassment, assault, voyeurism, and physical and sexual attacks in unisex locker rooms and toilets. Yeah, so not only are men going into women's sports and hurting them, taking medals away, as we've all stated, they are also going into their locker rooms, changing rooms. We've all heard the stories, we've heard many stories, yet women have to allow that to happen. Because if they speak up about things, as we're going to see in just a bit, well, they could face consequences. That shouldn't be happening. It's a disgrace. But leave your thoughts down below on that report. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, 890 medals and most likely more have been lost. Women have lost out on these medals. But we're supposed to act like it's not happening, right? It's just an exaggeration. These people are insane. But let's head over to the New York Post, because they go on to talk about some stories that have gone on. And again, you're going to know about these ones, but boy, what world are we living in? While Al Salem's study did not call out specific events or a time frame when these male interlopers swooped in, it noted these injustices occurred at various levels of competition. Yes, it's happening at all levels, but we need to be honest, it's only been in the last few years that we've decided to shamefully replace common sense and fairness with empathy for mentally ill males. I mean, that is straight facts there, and talking about the facts, we've removed facts and common sense, fairness from society, and we have put empathy for mentally ill males ahead of that. So we end up with men, as you can see with Leah Thomas on your screen, in women's sports, and everybody gets affected. Great time. It started in Connecticut girls track, crept into women's cycling, and reached peak insanity in 2022 when Leah Thomas, formerly Will Thomas, transitioned and joined the UPenn women's swim team. How stunning, how brave. Not only were their teammates told that they would have to welcome Thomas onto their squad and into their locker room, they were also told to shut up and take it like a man. And if they had a problem with this setup, they should seek counseling. So, as I mentioned earlier, in a lot of cases we see today, I actually covered one a couple of days ago, if you speak up about this issue, you could face consequences, and you're the one that's in the wrong. How dare you question this? What this is just forced compliance, right? They don't want people speaking out against this. You just have to accept it. Allow men into your sports, into your locker rooms, and don't mention anything. Just get on with it. What resulted was a culture of fear. Both parents and athletes were afraid to speak out. The girls were told they'd be sacrificing future careers, and cancellation was a guarantee. They'd be branded with the irredeemable transphobe tag. Pariahs. I think everybody's got that tag at the minute. Doesn't really mean anything. This, despite Thomas, who is an obvious dude standing at 6'4", towered over competitors. Each image was more farcical than the next. The dam broke when former University of Kentucky swimmer Riley Gaines spoke out, saying it was wrong. Thomas's teammate Paula Scanlon followed. Both did so at great personal cost, and they've done such a great job in changing things with this whole issue going on. They have continued to speak out, and because of them and other women, we are now seeing a lot of pushback to this. Then sportscasters like Sage Steele and Sam Ponder joined in. Steele later revealed that ESPN, her employer at the time, told her to stop speaking out against Thomas. Former Levi's executive Jennifer Say noticed that apparel companies like Nike, which claim to champion female athletes, have been quiet. In the spring, she launched XXXY Athletics and is producing evocative viral ads that call out the sneaker giant for its cowardice. Yeah, Nike are cowards, that is for sure. As the chorus grows bigger and louder, the illiberal activists are losing their grip on the conversation, and most importantly, girls are standing up and saying they're not going to take it. Yeah, finally, we are seeing people stand up and speak out against it, as we're all seeing now with this whole volleyball situation and San Jose State. In May, for example, and I covered this story on the channel, 5 middle school girls from West Virginia declined to compete against a trans athlete in a track and field event. Just this month, the girls' soccer team at New Hampshire's Bishop Brady High School boycotted a game against Kearsarge Regional because their star player, Mael Jacquez, is trans and reportedly stands close to 6 feet. New Hampshire has a law against trans girls and women playing in female sports, but Jacquez's family sued and a federal court granted a preliminary injunction so the trans athlete can still play. Oh, how great is that? And in college volleyball, a revolution is afoot since it was revealed that San Jose State University has a transgender player named Blair Fleming. Multiple opponents from the Mountain West Conference have courageously forfeited rather than playing against Fleming. Last week, Fleming, who jumps like a cheetah, I mean, if you've seen the video footage, it's kind of true, slammed an opponent in the face with a ball, highlighting that trans athletes competing in women's sports isn't just unfair, it's unsafe. And we've seen other female athletes as well who have been affected in volleyball. One of them actually has been left partially paralyzed because she was hit in the face with a volleyball from a trans athlete. People like to ignore the facts these days, don't they? Nobody likes facts. It scares them. But there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I think all that we've read here would be enough for anybody with common sense to go, yeah, you know what? This really shouldn't be happening. But it just so happens we have people in the high positions today, whether it be in sporting organizations or other things, well, who lack common sense. And they love to see men going in whatever capacity and taking medals away from women, and not just in a small amount, because we've had 890 medals lost. and probably more. I mean, it's just so tiresome for all of us and these female athletes just making up this issue. It really is, you know? Anyway, leave your thoughts down below on this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen. What are your thoughts on everything I spoke about in this video? I'd like to know. But until next time, it has been your host, JD. Have a great day, stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.